I first met Mike, it was December of last year. On his first official visit here, he was my recruit, and he was a quiet kid. Didn't really say much, but he always had a smile or a smirk on his face throughout the whole night. And one of the things he wanted to do a lot was just play the game like any other college kid would do. And me and my roommate at the time were like, we're gonna make you have a fun time. So when you do decide to come here, you have something to look forward to. And fast forward to his first couple days on campus, we weren't really allowed to use any of the facilities, so we had to sneak off to different parks just to get some type of field work. And Mike surprisingly was there. And that's something that we don't really ask a freshman to do, that extra thing to be great, but he did it. And his work ethic when that period of time happened surprised me, because he was always there before me. And he was always asking questions on how he could do something better, what he could do to be better. And when the season actually came, when we started practicing, all he talked about was how he couldn't wait to get on that field, how he couldn't wait to show what he finally had and why he was here to prove himself. And every single time we had the conversation, I'd be happy because I couldn't wait to see him do it.
Mike Raiford was a person who brought tremendous energy to our team, even in the short time he was with us. You could tell he was truly embraced by his teammates, and especially by that defensive back group. They truly loved him, and our whole team loved Mike. He's a guy that he was doing whatever it took to be great at football, great in his academics. He's a person who just had a good, wholesome energy about him. And that's why our team really took to Mike so quickly and really formed that lifelong bond. Because in college, you only have so much time together. So, 2 months together sometimes feels like it's 2 years, and that's the type of bond. And when that horrible news broke to us on Friday, you could just feel it through the team and the ripple effect that Mike had on all of us in a loving and endearing way. Mike is he will be missed, and he is forever AIC football family. And I think it's also important in this time that, we embrace each other. We'll be there for each other, really, check on people, make sure they're okay and they're doing well in this time. And I think it's also important to celebrate Mike and the life he had, and even in that short time, the impact he made on everybody. I think, don't be scared to tell people you love them. I tell my team all the time that I love them. It's important that people know that and people hear that, because you never know how much time you really have with somebody, and you may never get that back. And it's people should know that you care about them, and you're not just saying, hey, how you doing, to say, hey, how you doing. You're really checking on them. And I try to do that with all our team members. And I think our team has really come together on this, and it's a real brotherhood, and you could see that after the passing of Mike. And we'll forever love Mike and the impact he made on us and the AIC community. And forever Mike will be in our hearts. And that number 6 he wore in high school, and the number 34 he was going to wear in college will mean something a little more to us at AIC. And we love Mike Raiford, and may he rest in peace.
There's many mixed emotions on the loss of Michael Raiford, and these emotions range from shock, denial, anger, great loss, guilty we didn't know first year student more, sense of missing all that he promised to bring athletically, academically to our college. I'd like to turn to 3 of our traditions represented at the college. First Islam, then Jewish, and then Christian. The Islam tradition, Remy writes a wonderful piece of literature called The Guest House, and it's a metaphor about the human body, about how different feelings can come onto us. And I think it's really important at this time of loss of Michael that we I realized to allow these emotions to come into us. And he writes, the guest house. Just being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows. Will violently sweep your house and empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honorably, maybe clearing you out for some new delight. A dark thought, a shame, a malice, meet them at the door, invite them in. Be grateful whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So in this Islam tradition, there's a sense of welcoming even these terrible feelings of loss, that there may be a message for us to live in the present, to appreciate ourselves and each other ongoing, that Michael's passing nudges us all to be attentive now, not to live in the past, whatever happened, and not to live in the future, what we hope for, but now, in the midst of our life, be attentive to that. And secondly, in the Jewish tradition, Psalm 121 speaks of someone that has a lot of troubles, or someone that looks up to, again by metaphor, the hills. And this is where he talks about how he's going to get through these hills. And globally, the whole planet is in the middle of challenge of the pandemic. And here at the college, we're facing the challenge, loss of Michael. And so be attentive how the psalmist says that the holy will not necessarily take us out of the pandemic, but he'll be with us in it. And not necessarily bring Michael back, but he'll be with us in our journey. I lift my eyes up to the hills, from where will my help come? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. He who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil, but keep your life. The Lord will keep you going out and you're coming in, from this time on and forever. So this idea that the Lord will be at our right hand as we navigate all these hills of emotion at the loss of Michael, as we attempt to comfort his family and his friends here at campus. Finally, I'd like to turn, I happen to be a friend of Jesus, and many of you are too. Jesus himself, I believe, understands what we're going through. He didn't have a lot of hair, a little bit more than I do, but when he let down his hair, he hung out with Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. They're about 2 miles from Jerusalem. And so he wanted a break. He'd go out to visit them, and in Bethany, the village was called, and he'd have a meal with them. Martha was an awesome cook. Mary loved to sit and listen to him, and Lazarus was a friend. Word reached him that Lazarus had died. And when he went to see Martha and Mary to console them, he asked, he goes to them, and he wants to see Lazarus. He's already been buried. And when he goes to the tomb, it tells the scripture has the shortest piece of writing in the whole Bible, and it says Jesus wept. He was sad. And I think that's why we're sad, because friends matter to us in our life. And in Jesus' life, Lazarus was his friend. And when he lost Lazarus, he wept. And so right now, while there's all these awkward feelings of loss, we are confident that we'll get through this, and that we'll glean something from Michael's promise to appreciate the moment we live in. God bless.
Love and miss Mike, because he was a part of us. He became a part of us really fast, and he will always be with us in the future. That 6 and 34 will be carried on throughout AIC history.